Hey Geocachers, welcome to the podcast Geocache Adventures. I'm Amy Shadow Dragon 1. I'm your host. Thank you for joining me today. It is April and it is spring, which means allergy season, which means I'm going to sound a bit froggy for a while, so I apologize for that, but 'tis life, as they say. So first up, there is a lot going on in the world of geocaching right now, so I'm going to share some of the geocaching news with you that has been going on. First of all, we have Maker Magic that's happening between April 9th and 30th of this year, 2026. The geocaching community is invited to participate in Maker Magic events, and if you do, you will earn a special souvenir. You can earn a souvenir for hosting as well as attending. Now, if you're hosting an event, you're running out of time to get that in because you have to have your event published and an additional form filled out after the publication by April 7th. Today's April 1st. So depending on when you're listening to this, there is that to consider. However, you can still attend an event between April 9th and 30th, and you will receive a special souvenir. There are a few contingencies about what needs to take place for this. First of all, events need to be at least an hour. Usually events have to be a half hour. These are being longer. They can be discussions about making the perfect cache or creating the perfect puzzle. It's all about creating geocaches and getting them out there for the community to enjoy. So that is going on right now. In addition to the events, they're having a Maker Magic treasure collection for it that will be publishing on April 7th. There'll be 5 treasures that you can collect, and you can find them by logging traditional caches, mystery caches, multis, or letterbox hybrid of any size, difficulty, or terrain with at least 5 favorite points assigned to it, or any regular event cache. You can collect the treasures that way. So there is one opportunity. Sounds like a lot of fun. If you're hosting a Maker Magic event, I'd like to hear how that goes and what you did for it, or if you attended one, let me know. Next up, we have the next hiding theme for 2026, which is going to run through May 1st through June 30th, so you have time to get this planned and sorted out. And the theme is hiking in nature. So we love the idea of geocaching taking us to hidden areas, hidden nature areas. You're going to want to do something that's suitable for all experience levels, preferably. So they're looking for hiking in nature. So keep that in mind when if you're trying to do the hiding theme. Maybe attending a Maker Magic event will help you get inspired for the hiding theme. Even if you don't feel like hiding, you can still find one and participate in it. There is a place, there's a form. If you go to the geocachingblog.com, look for the introducing the 2026 cache hiding themes page, and there is a link that talks more about it. Keep an eye out on the information on the blog for further themes and stuff. But if you want to share in the fun of your finds for possible highlight in their blog, you can share your geocaching experiences on Instagram and TikTok using the hashtag GeoHT26. So when you're finding one of their themes, use that hashtag on Instagram or TikTok, and you could possibly have your adventures featured in their geocaching blog. And we also have coming up here soon the Blue Switch Day coming up in May, another souvenir option here, possibility. If you're not familiar with the Blue Switch Day, it's the metaphorical blue switch. It is the day we celebrate It's basically what allows us to do geocaching. So before the big blue switch got flipped, we had the selective availability was not selective availability was in place, and GPS for the public was not good at all. The US government had the much more accurate GPS, and thanks to President Clinton, he decided that we're going to make this accessible to all. And on May 2nd of 2000, they flipped the metaphorical switch, and the first geocache was hidden on May 3rd to test out how accurate it was. And here we are today with more than 3.4 million geocaches in 191 countries around the world. And we love getting those souvenirs. And there is, as always, the chance to get a souvenir for finding a geocache between May 1st and 3rd. Find any geocache, attend an event, or log an adventure lab, and you can earn the souvenir. But also, you can earn a hider souvenir if you hide a geocache, non-event, between May 1st and May 31st. So no events, and it does not include adventure labs. So it has to be a physical. You know what? It does not say if you virtual counts or not. So if you have a virtual credit, I'm not sure if you can place your virtual credit and get the hider souvenir or not. If you find out, let me know. But I'm not sure about that one. But any physical geocache or earth cache that you hide during May 1st and 31st, at least, will give you that hider souvenir. I don't see a contingency excluding virtual caches, just excluding events and adventure labs for that hider souvenir. So those are some ways that you can get some special souvenirs here. Those are always great fun. I like getting the souvenirs. And in further news and app news, maybe you've seen the emails or the blog post, but Geocaching announced just this week that they've updated some new tools to the app to help you hide geocaches. So you can now go in there, and in the menu option where it lists, like the menu bar where the different options for stats and different things are at, there's a hide button down there. Click on that, and it'll show you your hides, but then it also has an option to create a hide or create cache coordinates. So if you find a place that you think this could be a great place for geocache, you can pull up the app and save those coordinates there. You can also create a traditional cache page and launch it from the app now, which is completely new. If you look in the app, as of right now, it does list the other types of geocaches, but it does have a disclaimer that says not available in the app. So I have a feeling that will be coming later on, potentially. They have that set up to potentially do that. There is an option that you could click on for cache events when you're creating a cache, but when you click on that, it is going to give you a message that's about to launch a new browser window and ask you if you're okay with that or not. So you're not actually creating that in the app per se, but the app will launch to the page to allow you to create an event cache, so you can do it that way. So there's a lot going on in geocaching news right now, a lot of souvenir opportunities coming up in the next month. So keep that in mind when you're out there caching. Now that brings us to our topic. We're going to talk about today near field communication and geocaching. This actually was brought up to me by GMX times 2. Scott, thank you very much. You've heard him on the podcast before, talking about Adventure Labs and especially the Route 66 Adventure Lab series. And he sent me this topic idea. So shout out. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. So if you're not familiar with near field communication, also known as NFC, it is a set of communication protocols that enables communication between two electronic devices. Okay, an example of this, think about like when you're using your phone to make a payment at the gas station or grocery store on the little card kiosk. It uses radio waves to let the two devices talk and make the transaction. In this case, it's allowing you to find a geocache. So there are actually various apps that you can install on your smartphone to allow you to pick up these NFC communications and transmissions. So how would you use this with geocaching? What I'm seeing here when I look at different geocaches that have this is that you're going to find a physical waypoint and there's going to be a little tag. A lot of the examples say a round disc that you can find, and you're going to take your phone, you're going to hold it up to the tag, and you're going to scan that disc using the NFC app that you're using, and it's going to talk to you and it'll give you some information. Either give you coordinates to the next waypoint, or in one case I saw it reads out an identifier that you then use the identifier number, and there's a sequence in the Cache app that says labels the order, say A, B, C, D, E, and then you use A, B, C, D, E from that identifier tag to solve a puzzle for the set of coordinates. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it, but it's all going to be a physical waypoint where you can take your phone, scan that device, and get information for where you need to go or what you're looking for to find the geocache. So if you want to try one of these geocaches, there's a requirement that they have a special attribute tagged to them, and it is the wireless beacon attribute, or wireless receiver required attribute, maybe what it's called. There is on the help pages of the help center of geocaching.com, when you look at cache types, they do list a beacon cache type. There's not a lot of information there. It basically says a beacon device that transmits wired message can be used to find a geocache. Examples are NFC transmitter, Wi-Fi router, or radio transmitter. And if your cache has a wireless beacon, you must follow the following guidelines, which is to give it that attribute, the wireless beacon or wireless receiver required attribute. You have to list the waypoints that use the beacon as physical waypoints. If your beacon has a Wi-Fi transmitter, you can list it as a virtual waypoint. Do not state beacon brands in your cache page unless the information helps people find the cache, and make sure that your text follows commercial guidelines. That's pretty much the entire help center beacons cache type readout right there. It does say as of August 15th of 2025, so fairly recently, chirp devices are no longer allowed in beacon caches. Any existing caches that use chirp devices are now legacy caches. So I have not found one with a chirp device. I've not found one with using the wireless transmitter. I tried to find a video of someone finding one out there. I haven't found one yet, but there are several different caches out there that have this attribute. One that's been archived, that was a multi-cache, the one that Scott actually first sent me to look at when I was looking at this. If you want to look at it, it's archived, but you can still look at the cache page, GC63TE1, called NFC 101 Intro to Near Field Communication. It talks a little bit about it. I went on to geocaching.com. If you go to geocaching.com and when you go to do a search for geocaches, if you use the filters on the website give you a lot more options that you can search for, and you can select the wireless receiver required attribute and hit apply, and it'll pull up all the ones that are anywhere. If you have any other, of course, any other things that you put in the search field, it will help narrow down. I strictly just did the wireless beacon required, and it showed me 3,939 results. So it appears that there are 3,939 geocaches out there currently that require you to have a wireless transmitter in order to find them. And there are ones that are multi-caches. There's a lot of traditional caches, though, that have the mark on it. I was a bit surprised by the number of traditional caches that came up searching for it. There's a bunch of Where I Goes and different types of puzzle caches and all sorts of cache types out there. Letterbox that you can go check out. Some of these might be getting turned into legacy caches if they use chirps, or maybe they just didn't update the descriptions. I pulled up one randomly that's a traditional. It says that they have it uses a chirp transmitter. But as we just read from the Help Center blurb about beacon caches, that those are going to become legacy caches. So I guess you can still find them. You're just not going to be able to use any more. You're not going to be able to create any more with the chirp. But yeah, it sounds really neat. I'm going to have to try to find one of these near me because it sounds interesting. Something different to do with geocaching for certain. If you have a cache that you've created that has that is a beacon cache that uses the NFC technology or a chirp cache, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or send me an email at geocache.adventures.podcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear about it. It'd be really cool. So that's what I've got for you today. It's a quick topic, a lot of geocaching news. I hope you're out there enjoying this crazy weather. It's been pretty crazy in my area, going from 50s to 90s to 70s and rain. Good times. Great time to be geocaching out there. So I hope you're all staying safe and having fun, and I'll see you next time.